whether you're 16 or 65, we all need to make almost 300 grams of new protein per day. Every protein in the body is doing what we call turnover, and different proteins have different lifespans. There are proteins in the liver that are replaced every hour. There are proteins in the muscle that are replaced every month and a half. And there's connective tissue, like in your knee joints and whatever, that are replaced every 6 months or so. The striking thing people need to come to grips with is that about 4 times every year, you've replaced the equivalent of every protein in your body. So that's kind of interesting to keep in mind. If you're looking at maximum rate of growth, how much protein can you do with resistance exercise and lay down per day? That number is about 5 grams. And so you need to make 30, and only 15 and only 5 of it could actually be net gain. Okay, so that's turnover. If you look at the whole body, then about of that 300, about 25% is muscle. Muscle makes up 50% of your body protein, but only gets 25% of your turnover. Okay, where the liver and the gut and the kidney get 75%. In the middle of the night, your liver has to be making protein or you die. Where your muscle becomes a reservoir of amino acid. It's kind of sitting there and it's not being used while you're sleeping. And so it actually donates the amino acids that the liver's using in the middle of the night. So you've got this balance thing going on where protein in the liver is constantly being made, where protein in the muscle is only getting made associated with meals. And so there's this constant going back and forth that you referred to between synthesis and breakdown. What's the net balance? During fasting period, muscle is in a net negative, and during feeding periods, it's in a net positive. Liver's not doing that. What is synthesis? Synthesis is that process of making those new proteins, whether they're enzymes or structural, whatever, those new proteins you make every day. And in the muscle, particularly as we get older, is very much meal driven. In whey protein, leucine's about 12%, and in soy protein, it's a little less than 8%. So you can get to 2.5 grams with 23 grams of whey protein, or 22, and it takes 32 with soy. Both will have the same effect if you give everybody 35 grams. But if you only give 20 grams, whey will have an effect and soy won't. If you're having a mixed meal with 45 grams of protein in it, and it's a combination of foods, it's not a problem. If you're eating 120 grams of protein per day, the combination probably doesn't make much difference. If you're eating 50 grams, it probably does. So if I was having a healthy 55-year-old who's pretty physically active, doing some resistance, doing some aerobic training, I usually target the range of 1.2 to 1.6, and they can kind of fall in there wherever they want.